Okay, my name is Clair Smith. I am the author of my new poetry journal. It is entitled Nothing Under the Sun Poetry Journal. I'm also a film writer. I'm working on a couple of pieces as well. You can find me on IG at She Is Miss Lady, at Nothing Under the Sun podcast show, at Nails by Claire as well.
Diversified Game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, you guys are going to get some. It starts off with, writing a book and poetry, but it seems like this is a multifaceted woman. She is a family member of a very familiar face. If you see Sir Edward Smith, he's going to be silent, but he is here to give his support for his family, as he does throughout the community here in Palm Beach County, South Florida, and beyond. Miss Clair Smith, welcome to Diversified Game. Let's get into this poetry game. When you created this book, why? ¿Por qué? What inspired you?
Okay. Well, actually, I kind of grew up off of poetry. Really, it was music. Um, and being that I couldn't create the melodies or the music, I would write the lyrics, which everybody knows poetry is music lyrics, period. Um, it was just a way to get away from a lot of turmoil that was happening in my life. The poems that's inside of my book are over 30, I could say 30 years old. So it's just a collaborative of a bunch of things that I wrote over a period of, I'd be 50, so let's say a period of 30 years, 35 years.
Stop the cap. Black don't crack if you don't smoke it. So don't nobody believe that. If you guys, the majority of the people are listeners, go over to the YouTube, you guys, and tell this person is telling stories or just taking very good care of themselves. So congratulations on that. I love it. I love it. 50 fine is the saying and the goal and the shirts. You say 30 years of poetry, 30 years of getting it off. Why did it take so long?
Well, okay, so actually the book took about 13 years. I actually finished that book in 2010, but what happened, I had moved to Atlanta. And it was a hard transition for me. You got to get in where you fit in, and some places, be glittery, but not gold. So, same for the people. But, it was a struggle, but finally I had got it out. I perseverance was my key to everything. I know for a fact I'm not a quitter. It may take years, but I'm not a quitter. So it took about 13 years, actually.
So do you think that, and this is supposed to be like a teachable moment for somebody listening who still hasn't even put the first, page of their book, was it your circle? How people say, show me your friends, show you your future, and your network is your net worth, and all those fancy things people love to say. But, is it the people that were around you? Because I know a lot of times a lot of people don't have Edward to push them, to support them, especially inside their family. So what was it? And what would you give, like, some advice to somebody who's thinking about trying to do what you just did?
It's definitely your circle. I have probably a handful of Edwards. Um, and we know the enemy is at bay. So he will try to tell you that you're worthy of certain things. And I have been blessed over a period of time to be able to pick up my phone, and these particular people are not busy. It's definitely, you got to have people to believe in you. And even if you don't, you still have to believe in yourself. God will bring you people that would definitely see that light, or your purpose, and they would definitely push you. You got I right hand high, you got to have a good circle. You got to wean everybody out, because I had doubters. I had people asking me, oh, it's been 13 years. Why would you do it now? So
Yeah. You
yeah,
guys,
so
some those are the real haters right there. Um, because you're still alive. That's why.
right,
But what about, and here's another teachable moment for those who are like Edward, who are givers. He's brought, other family members, and he likes to help in the community. If the world was fair, they would, make people like Edward a politrician, whatnot, but he's probably too honest, so he wouldn't
exactly.
last too long. And they'd give him some titles, but there are people who probably in that 13 years who were pushing you. What stopped you from, just stopping everything and only attaching to those who had that positive energy? Because I know somebody was there, especially if you had a handful. I don't have a handful of Edwards. I wish I did. And I got a big family on both sides. But what stopped you from the people who did encourage you? Was it self-doubt? Was it finance? Give us the game.
It was life with life. Life will make you put on your gloves, boot up, suit up, and you're gonna have to fight. Um, I had a lot of adversities in my journey. Right when I was about to put the book out in 2019, I had opened up a nail salon, nail suite, and I got hit in the face with a gun.
Mm.
So it was life. Like I had to basically pray so hard, hope so. I mean, my faith had to grow. It had to grow. I had to put in my head, this it's this or nothing. It's now or never. Like after everything that I've been through, I could easily give up. But then what type of example am I setting for other people that are like me? Because we do have challenges. A lot of people don't feel that people that look like myself should, have certain platforms. So I have to fight that. Um, I got people that feels like where I come from, I shouldn't be, successful in anything. I have to fight against that. I lost my son 2022, and my son was like another Edward. I could call him and ask for business, ideas and things like that. And my son would articulate these things to me. Um, I feel if you don't believe in yourself, first and more, first of all, if you don't believe in yourself, I think a lot of people paths get hard. And then you better believe in God. You
Okay.
better believe in God like you believe in yourself. Well, believe in yourself like you believe in God. Let's say that. Believe in yourself like you believe in God. Because it is so many adversities. Like so many. I done got hit, son passing to a point where I had nobody, homeless a couple of times, trying to invest in myself because I didn't have help, you know. Um, I'm gonna tell a person quick, you better believe in God and have perseverance. That's just it. Bottom line.
Is there anything that down the way, and a lot of people who are, out there trying to help people, and right now sometimes it's self-serving and people say nobody wants to listen, nobody wants to actually have the commitment to follow through, the consistency, and that's what this whole thing in life is. Are you consistent, in your relationships with whomever? But was there anything that anybody could have said, thinking back, in hindsight is always 2020, that could have pushed you further? Because I truly believe in the Joe Jackson method with kids. You can do that with kids. You shouldn't do it as Ike Turner or P. Diddy or Harvey Weinstein. Like, yeah, we talk like that. We just being real. But is there anything someone could have said to you to say, hey, I really believe in this. This is what we're gonna do, and any method that would have worked for you?
Nobody said anything. Edward came about, and that was the I had one other person, but they was putting on for the streets and not for the kingdom. So you know how that went. But nobody said anything. I had more doubters than anything. I had
Okay.
more doubters than anything. I had more doubters than anything.
Well, and the doubters, in music or entertainment and being creative, the doubters is why hit songs are made. Ask Taylor Swift, ask
Yeah.
anybody. The best albums usually are the first or the second album, because by the third, if you're even able to make it, you have so much, access again and exposure. Life is a little sweet now.
I'm from Belgrade, Florida. So a third world country within this country. It's like you don't hear too much of people such as myself coming from that place, but we are there. We're
Are
there.
you in Palm Beach County now? Like
No,
myself, I'm up the street from Belglade in
no.
that Lochahatchee.
I'm in I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, you're
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. Next time you come to Belglade, holler at me,
I
because
will.
I go up there not as often as I like, but as a sports agent, there's some business to be up there. Also, Palm Beach State College, I'm sit on the board and have made a relationship with the college over there. And when trying to give access and exposure to Belglade, that's what I was talking about, because
It's
there
hard.
are people who are building businesses in Belglade and they
Yes.
have the same complaints to me saying, Kellen, it's almost like folks are so damaged. Either they don't
Yeah.
believe you
No. They
and
won't
even
believe you until the world believe you.
Hello, everyone. Come along with London and Sydney as they show you around the vibrant country of Cameroon. We explore the heart of Africa through the eyes of London and Sydney. Two explorers who journey across the great city of Yaoundé, exploring its rich culture, vibrant market squares, cultural heritage, and wildlife. With giggles and excitement, London and Sydney Explore Cameroon takes you on a fun-filled adventure, providing insight into the country's culture and traditions through the pages of this book. It's packed with exciting stories and super cool facts about Cameroon that will make you go, wow. Get your copy now, available on Amazon and in libraries near you. There's only one easy way to experience the exploration of Cameroon, and it's through London and Sydney. Don't wait, get yours.
They would not receive you until the world have received you. They would not do it. And that in itself is a very bad obstacle for anybody to, that state college. I went to that state college. I was a gifted child. I went to that state college when I was like in 7th grade. So I know what you're talking about. That area is very prideful as well. But without people like you or Edward or myself, you really won't hear about people from Belgrade and what they're doing. Sad to say, it's a lot of crabs in the bucket attitudes, a lot of vindictive attitudes. If you come from Belgrade, your background is not good. The majority of the time, your background is very traumatizing. It's not what people, so they feel brainwashed. I feel like the majority of the people, they're brainwashed with, you don't have access for certain things, so they feel like I can't do it. Growing up in Belgrade, I didn't have the appropriate books, but it didn't stop me being borderline genius. It didn't stop me from, knowing who I am or being intelligent or being around intelligent people. But the adversities, man, is real. They're real. They're real. We need people like you.
Well, and there's I know some good people. Dr. McNeil at Palm Beach State College doing some great things. Miss There's so many people I know doing business or trying to do business in Belgrade, but I also know people from Belgrade trying to get out of there and say, why are you here? That's the number one thing I get when I go to Belgrade.
Yeah.
When I'm, they say, why are you here? It's not safe. I say, I think I'm protected. I know I am, and I'm good because
it's a beautiful place. It was once a beautiful place. Come on, the PGA, Golf
Mhm.
tournaments used to be held at our marina, well, at our golf course at one point. It was a very beautiful place. It was they say if you can't live in Belgrade, you can't live nowhere. And if you can live in Belgrade, you can live anywhere in the world, 7 countries. You know what I mean? Because Belgrade is rough. It molds good people. It molds you. It does.
Well, you and I could go on and on about Belgrade, but I want to do it
Yeah.
in person while we go through it. So next time you come through, because there's some personal things, and I don't want to put people's business out there, that I don't understand how 5 or 6 grown adults and kids can be living in a place. And when you say, look, we have a job or a position for you as a content creator, and they don't call you back. And I'm like, hold on, if I never see you
Doubters.
again, yeah.
Doubters. Doubters in their ear. Listen, you could go to the store. Oh, I heard you doing this. Girl, you ain't gonna make it. Child, them folks gonna just rip you off. Oh, it's just a scam. They hear it. If the vernacular would change,
Mhm.
be more successful people.
Amen. Amen to that. So your book is full of we know it's going to be full of real life stories, and you also do music and want to do movies. Have you used AI at all to put anything together for your music? Because I mean, you can create a whole song now with AI, and it actually sounds dope and human. Finally.
Actually, being that life been life, and I'm kind of out of touch with a lot of things. God is really placing people back in my life that I need to critique me a little bit and show me a couple of things that where I can help myself. So, music. The reason why I actually went to movies was because the music industry is oversaturated with untalented people. So what I did was I was like, hey, you're gonna need music for your movies. You're gonna need movies for your play. Because I have a play that's called Nothing Under the Sun,
Mhm.
as well as the book. So I was like, just put your music in your movies. I mean, what better way to put yourself out there? So that was the reason why I went to actually creating these movies as well, to put my music out, because it was very hard. Very hard.
Uh, and when doing the movies and the music, all of these things are things that the majority of people, they'll say won't have success, but people say success because of money. You look at SAG. I think I heard something, there were over 100,000 people in SAG last year who didn't even qualify for benefits because they didn't make the 23,000, if I'm not mistaken, that they needed to make. Entertainment is hard. Owning a restaurant is hard, but people do it all day. What do you need to elevate your arts? Is it community support? Is it possibly you need more team members? What's going on? What can help you?
Okay, yeah, I would need a team. I do
Mhm.
need a production team that believes, in themselves as well as me and my projects. I do need community. Community is very important. It's very important. How are people, the average business really succeed off of word of mouth? You can really come up off of word of mouth. And that's what I need. I don't need anybody remembering who I was, because that was who I was. I need you to promote who I am now, what I'm trying to transition into, which is to the kingdom. And transitioning is hard, but I need that production team. I need people like you. I need a little bit more Edwards in you. And I need a little bit more people to believe. God ain't placed me on this path for me to fail. It's not happening.
Got you, got you. Well, for those who are listening and you say, "Oh, I'm in Atlanta. I have, production, I mean, entertainment." There's people that I've seen who volunteer their time to put some beautiful projects together, and they volunteer like hundreds of thousands of dollars to people that I've known, especially in LA. And it's like, it's just artists being artists. So it's not always money. It's sometimes saying, "Hey, I'm cooking on Friday and we're going to shoot 2 on Friday and figuring out how this is going to work. Now, when you go back to, who you were, I'm not even going to ask you because I wrote a book and told people about, if you want to know about that situation, go read my first book that I wrote, and you can go hear the little piece that I put in. Besides that, I'll tell you, but you probably need to be a client because why are we talking about what I did back then? Because people remember
Mhm.
stuff. I'm talking about like they'll remember when you were 7 years old. Remember when you owed me that 25 cents? And
And I'd be like, no.
yeah, that 25 cents and I remember when you owed me way more than that.
Yeah.
So, for those people who will always try to remind you of who you were, they need to probably leave your life because they're
Yeah, I
toxic.
mean, but who I was definitely built who I am now, though.
Mhm.
It's how I perceive things now. I had a cousin that used to drive me over to Palm Beach. We used to ride by Donald Trump house all the time. I loved it. Man, fascinating. She said, what set you apart from these people? I was like, they got money. So it was like, no, it's not that. It's your mindset. So struggling with the
Mm.
streets, knowing the correct mindset to have and stuff like that. I'm about to tear up because that particular cousin is dead.
Mm.
So so it's like I had to battle so many that particular mindset that we was talking about that most people have. Now imagine growing up with that, but your mind is telling you you got to think positive. You could do all things through Christ. You got to keep pushing. It's not where you from. It's where you had like, but you constantly in every ear you hearing what you can't do, where you come from, what blah blah blah. So many negative things. Fighting through that is like I be fighting for my life and my mental health.
Gotcha. And that's a big thing, and why all adults, listen, audience, all adults, don't matter what your situation is, need to be in some type of therapy. How often you do it, that's on you and what you find, because life here in America is all about consumerism. It's capitalism. That's what people do. That's why most people are in debt. And that's why, when we had Edward on, you guys were supposed to get that financial game. You guys can go look into the archives and see. Talking about finances is so important. When you talk about the mental health, if you're thinking about a young lady that is like, I want to be like you. I want to put out a book. I want to do music, movies. I want to get out of even Belgrade and move to the big city of Atlanta where the BBLs aren't just on the women, but they're also on the men. Shoot, the dogs might be having them soon. But what
Baby
what
doll.
would yeah, what would you tell them about their, getting their mindset? Because I think that's the difference between the winners and the losers in life. Can you get your mindset to believe what God has placed on your heart? Can you believe that you can achieve it? What would you tell that young lady?
You just have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. God first, yourself second. And like I say, you have to believe in yourself like you believe in God. Because nobody else is gonna do it. You gotta know deep in your heart that you serving God's purpose for one. Because we all know that if it's not your path or your purpose, it'll fall apart. So you gotta and surround yourself with good people. 1 out of 5 people, 1 out of 5 that was in my life was the most positive. So we all know that I had to gravitate away from the 4 and go to the 1. And it's okay. It's okay. Gonna be lonely as hell. Lonely. Losing my
Okay.
child. Yeah, losing my child right at the I was about to put the book out again. Now, mind you, that's 2 years. Let me see, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 3 years after getting hit in my face. I was about to put the book out then. Here come the enemy again. I lose my son. It took me an extra 6 months to finish my book. because I had to basically accept what happened, you know. So if you don't believe in God and believe in yourself, life is just gonna kick your ass.
I want people to really, people will hear things, and depending on, what algorithm you're on, but you have to remember the works that I've done in the community and professionally and just personally, you have people, and it's not just women, but it's a lot of women being touched at young ages. That's why stop letting your kids play hide and go seek, because it turns into hide and go get it.
I know
Ain't no
much.
mom, ain't no mama and daddy playing house, because things are happening with kids, and it then transfers to, with teenagers and then adults, and it's just a cycle. And trying to get your mind right for success, it's hard. And it's not just poor people, it's not just Black people, it's not just white, Hispanic. It's
I was a
crazy.
teen parent. I got pregnant at 13.
Okay. And that says a
And
lot right there.
and the excuse they gave me was I was uneducated.
Yeah.
How you gonna give me an excuse?
Yeah.
But they was like, you became that parent because you was uneducated. No, I wasn't. I was borderline genius. Life just was life, and as you said, if you don't have certain type of positive friends, I kind of gravitated to my friends that had mamas and daddies too. I was at their house a lot. It's crazy, man. Like, I was a teen parent, 13.
No,
13.
that says a lot about the upbringing where, and you know what, I can sometimes hear the audience, and when you say that, somebody say, "Oh, see that she was fast." Stop
No,
it. Your grandmother.
no.
I'm gonna go on a rant real quick. You don't have to co-sign if you don't want to, because I might offend somebody. But your
Mm,
grandmother, like mine, might have had her first child at 12. So
12.
before y'all judge, right? And
It's
and my
tough.
grandmother and my grandmother, we only knew her to be married, two husbands who passed.
Mhm.
But teaching, I substituted for a short time. I remember a 13-year-old girl who was pregnant, and the fire alarm went off. She was up on a desk, right, on a counter. Mr. Kellen, don't let me burn. I have a baby at home. I said, you got another? I had to
Yeah.
grab that baby, risk my job to bring her down, because I said, who is protecting this child? And it must be nobody.
It it,
So, yeah.
it becomes it's how can I say this? It's too widely accepted. I know stuff happens and us girls make mistakes. And actually, I got pregnant hanging with girls. I grew up with boys. The era when I got to the part where I wanted to hang with girls, I got pregnant.
Mhm.
Hanging with those boys, those males, wouldn't have never got pregnant because they would have told me the correct thing to do. See, I learned early that the enemy would come for you. He'll come for you. And he came for me through my friends. Because neither
Mm.
one of those girls got pregnant till they was after they was 18.
Okay.
Neither
Okay.
one helped me with my child.
You, so you
We're not even
have,
friends to this day. So you would think if they got helped me get pregnant, you would have helped me throughout life. No, I had to cut them off. You
so
know,
now that now we know you have not just a book, but you have a series. You have some stories that you can really tell. What are the next steps for you? Is it just creating more books? Is it getting the funding right? Have you ran over and knocked at Tyler Perry's door and said, let me in, put a billboard? Like, what are you doing in Atlanta, and how can the audience like reach out to say, look, I want to see what you got going on so we can, come together? Because those stories that you have right there, there's somebody who might have all the talent in cinematography, photography, whatever, but they don't have those stories. Those are the stories that win awards. Those are the stories that, go viral. So how do they connect with you? So it's kind of organized, and you just don't have people hitting you up saying, well, I can help you, because you'll also have a lot of wolves reaching out to you with
Yeah, I had a lot of
the
those.
third leg out.
Yeah,
They'll have the third
a
leg
lot of
out,
those.
and so what do you need right now? Is it videographers? Is it other
I
writers?
need
Give us that.
actors. I need videographers. I need a whole team. I really do. And whatever team God sends me, I'm gonna believe in them that they could get this job done with me. You understand what I'm saying? I just need that team. I need people to go ahead and purchase Nothing Under the Sun poetry journal, because that's investing in myself, and that money goes into my projects. Because I am working on a mini doc series about my life. It's called The Memoirs of a Lady Thug, because that was my rap name. And for me, Thug represented the highest up under God. That you have the
Okay.
flocks and the flowers, and then you have us humans. You have the humans, then the flocks and the flowers, rather. So we would, as human beings, period, we are the highest up under God. So that's why I went on and stuck with that name, because at first, for a female, Thug is not cute. It wasn't until I did my research, about that name. So the Memoirs of a Lady Thug, I'm trying to get into production. I have 2 complete episodes. I'm trying to go as far as they went with The Walking Dead. So I do need that team. I need Tyler Perry to get in contact with me. I have so many stories, started at 3. 3. I got stories in my movie 3. That was traumatic. You would never believe that a person could even go through it at 3. I witnessed my mom get beat. I got molested. And another thing is, a lot of people better not turn themselves into victims. When you victimize yourself, the world is not gonna be kind. They're not kind to victims. I don't care what nobody say. Becoming a victim does not. Sympathy, you don't really want. You want empathy, but sympathy you don't want, because you survived through it already. You survived through it already. You can tell your story. So I don't want sympathy. I want a little empathy. I want people to understand. I want people to learn from what I did, because I've been through a lot. I'm not.
Where can we see those episodes? Are they online already? Or are they just
No,
completed?
I I'm completing them. I need a team. I'm alone. I'm
Okay.
alone. Like I said, I got that handful. Edward is doing what he can for me. He's getting he's trying to get that momentum going. Um, I had a podcast show. I had to stop bad relationships, jealous men, jealous of what you're trying to do because they feel like you're street. I have gold teeth in my mouth. Do you know how bad it is to get past a stigma, even with men? At jobs, I can't keep a job. That jobs that I work at I'm trying to fund my projects. I'm trying to fund my book. I'm trying to fund my movies. I can't even do that because people are so slave. They have slave mentalities where they will crush me. They rather crush me because I have gold teeth. They rather put me inside of a box that I don't even belong in. Because I have gold teeth and dreadlocks does not mean that I'm ghetto. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
street. I'm street. That is it. Very intelligent. I have a degree, electrical engineer. I could not get a job because I have these goals, and it's male dominated. You know, but I need people to really tune into my podcast show. I'm about to start that up. You can find that on TikTok, IG, Nothing Under the Sun podcast. She is Miss Lady on, Instagram. She is Miss Lady on TikTok. I need people to really pour into me so I can pour back into the community. It's just that simple for a
And
change.
don't forget the YouTube Lady Thug, because her pain is her beauty. She
Oh,
might be a runaway, but it's no war over here, and it's no hocus pocus. These are the titles of some of her songs, y'all. So when you go
those
check
was
that
my
out.
transition. I was transitioning. I was really transitioning
Wait,
into
hold on, hold on,
trying
hold
to
on, hold on.
find
You gotta be very clear when you say that word. If we got another word that has a different meaning to
transition.
another,
I
yeah,
was
to another.
trying to
Yeah.
transition from the streets to the kingdom. I
Gotcha.
was searching and finding, and the music just it kept. That's when I learned about vibrations. I was like, why does it keep pulling me back into the drugs, the streets, and the foolishness? I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. I was fighting in the studio with my soul. The transition is hard, but hey, man, you gotta keep going. God is good. When you serve God and when you do what God has for you, wholeheartedly, don't give up, believe in him, believe in yourself, man, you could get far. I've seen a lot of people come from nothing to something,
Mhm.
and they have way, I don't think their background worse than mine, but you know,
No,
you can get
it's all the
confused.
same. You're no different than anybody else. You didn't do anything that nobody else did. So
No, I
it's,
got
you know,
molested and everything, and I got molested by a gay man.
mm, mm. Th-
Now you
and,
see these topics is serious. These topics I got, the stories I got is real. How did a little girl molested by a gay man? I thought I wasn't the T, but the enemy was at me young, very young. I watched my mama get beat. Oh my
mm,
God, that happened at 3. I can remember that like it was yesterday. My mom was violent. I grew up in a very violent household. That's why that get the book gonna tell you everything.
th-
And I
th-
stayed close to God more than anybody, more than
have you
anything. I stay
have
close.
let me ask, have you done any Toastmasters or anything like that to get ready for your public speaking career?
No,
Okay,
no.
we're gonna send you something. Just if you follow these steps, you let me know if you can follow Toastmasters for at least 3 months or even 6. You're gonna have some places that ask you to come speak. I don't know where, but it's just the way that way that it goes, and that's free. You don't have to join a paid group. You can just go, and most groups are free, and they're inside your community. I know the journey and the transition is you know, not finished. The best is yet to come. But
Yes.
what is a community give back besides your book that, you know, and pouring out all of that you're doing? What's a community give back that you're doing or that you would like to do in the future?
Okay, being that I've been homeless about 3 times, I really want to start a nonprofit organization that help families, not just necessarily single parents, because we know the stigma. I want to keep these families together because we got a lot of homelessness in Atlanta, and I know it's a lot of homelessness basically everywhere. I really want to give back to getting people back in good communities. Like, I need help with my light bill. I need help with my kids. I want to start mentorships for kids. I want to start a lot of different avenues. My son, he did fashion. I want to start a nonprofit organization that help kids, heterosexual men that or whoever that start up a fashion brand. You know,
Mhm.
I want to stop a lot of stigmas about people that's from the streets. I want to give back to a lot of people in the streets because I left a lot of friends. I want to go back and be able to say, remember when you could do this and remember you could do that? Let's do it. And provide them with, the resources that other people provide for me that, may have got me where I'm headed to. I just want to give back like wholeheartedly. I don't want to give a lot of programs that's out here are detrimental to your mental health, discouraging. I want a no BS nonprofit organization that helps families, not necessarily single moms, because I want to keep these guys with their baby mamas. I want to. I'm so hurt that I see a lot of celebrities now are baby mamas and not wives with kids. I can accept the wife with the kids and get divorced 2 months later. you know, versus you just having this baby out of wedlock. Like, I really want to open up a school of ethics for girls.
Hey, what's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondor, Lalibela. You'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you'll get the fashion, you have an opportunity to shop. It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
I want to go back to elegance, teaching us elegance. Balls, teaching a girl how to dance, how to carry themselves. Because a lot of girls don't. I didn't get how to carry myself from my mom. I got it from my community of boys, actually. The guys taught me, got to keep your nails done, got to keep your hair done, So I just want to get back to community aspects where the community let me down.
Well, no disrespect to Atlanta. You guys know I see you guys once a week, once a year, just like I do LA. Because Atlanta is as crazy as Austin or as crazy as LA, but there's a lot of good things happening here in Palm Beach inside the community, and there are groups like the Talented Teen Club, and I've just interviewed some people, a young lady who does elegance classes and etiquette, and so there's a need for that, and there's a need for all of us to know each other, to be able to say, look, I'm here in Belgrade, this is what we need. Because even what's being taught in Belgrade, one lady told me, who has a beautiful salon, the only Black salon out there, you may know of it. And I said, why do you guys only offer these services and not this? She's like, that's what we were taught. That's the only thing that was taught at the college down the street. And it was like, so if more things were taught, you would have done it. For for all you know, if they were to been pushed to say, you need to add accounting 500, they would have maybe took that and said, now I want to be an accountant. I don't know. But you have to catch people where they're at, and unfortunately, you catch people in the Black community in entertainment or beauty or fashion more than accounting or finances. But that's why you got Edward, so he can say, "Hey, now we're going to this." Yeah. I don't want to give the people too much, because for your podcast, I want them to go check it out. We're gonna have links in the description, you guys, and you guys go check those things out. But for what you told them, I want them to be so interested in more that, they go subscribe, and the best is yet to come. As I said before, Let the people know where they can find you, the best place to find you, and any last words.
Okay. TikTok. I'm always on TikTok, and I'm always on Instagram. Instagram is Nothing Under the Sun Podcast Show. She is Miss Lady. TikTok, same thing. She is Miss Lady. All across every platform. YouTube. YouTube I have to change, but I do have a platform for Nothing Under the Sun. I just need people to know that I am in my embryo stage right now with everything. Everything is becoming new to me. The opportunities are new, such as this one. But I need people to be patient. Please be patient. Support me as much as y'all can. If y'all want to send in donations, want to be sponsors, my Gmail is Nothing Under the Sun LLC@gmail.com. If you want to get involved, period, you can also use that email. You can also use Clair, CLAIRD Smith, SMITH 561 @gmail as well, or you could DM me on TikTok, Instagram. I'm rarely on Facebook. Sorry, Facebook, but I'm rarely on Facebook. But I love Instagram, so y'all could just interact with me on ththose platforms. I'm always on there with something going on.
All right, all right. This is an international podcast. So for my international people, when you heard her say she was looking for a sponsor, that has a different meaning. Because you'll have some old men talking about, oh, you need a sponsor. And and my African brothers
Hey, you know
they
what? That was another dream of mine to always open up a nail school in Nigeria. I always wanted to do that.
then did you
What is it?
write the
Cape
vision
Cod?
down?
Yeah, of course. Of
Okay.
course. I wanted to do a lot of business in Africa because I started braiding at 12, you know. So we do have some African,
So
thingy thingies.
so life and death is in the power of the tongue. You wrote the vision
Yeah.
down and you made it plain. Now it's the faith without works is dead. So now you just got to keep putting more work into that idea, because what your family member didn't tell you is I really consider this an African business podcast that can be heard in different stations. Even we've had, play our interviews because I push to Africa. So Africa, she's open. So I don't know.
Yeah.
She sounded single to me. If you got bride
Oh
price,
God.
come correct. Edward
Single.
is
Right
Edward is
now,
here.
I can't. Right now, I'm trying to be married to the Lord. I'm so sorry. I just want to get these projects out. I just want to teach girls from my background that, baby, we could do this. Like we can. Perseverance. Everybody perseverance. And keep your Bible close. And keep close friends. I'm serious. Like, it's very important to keep your circle small as possible and very spiritual. I don't care what denomination you from, because we all serve one God. Keep that circle spiritual, because this warfare is real.
Amen.
It's real.
Amen. You guys have got the game. I thank you for listening to the end. I know majority of you are listeners, but go over to the YouTube, give it some love. If you are, a serious actor, thespian, a videographer, send a DM. She's saying she's checking them. If you are a serious suitor and you have your bride price set, send Edward or myself a DM and we'll handle that the traditional way. Make sure that you, if nothing else, after commenting and liking, you share this game with somebody. It will change their life, y'all. Be blessed.
Are you tired of the violence, tired of the injustice, police brutality, rampant discrimination, lack of gun control in this failed bias socioeconomic experiment called America? Or maybe you need a break from the relentless grind and want to regain control of your destiny, your wealth, your health, and your purpose. DiversifiedGame.com has the right course for you. Prepare for my first trip to Africa. Looking to reconnect with your roots, start a new business, or just a fresh start. Africa, aka the motherland, is waiting. Don't let the Chinese and the Mzungus have the fun and also take over the motherland. From Cairo to Mombasa, from Dakar to Cape Town, Africa has something for everyone, from business opportunities to the most amazing people, safety, leisure, and landscapes. The opportunities abound. It is time for the diaspora to reconnect with their roots. Time to reconnect with the birthplace of humanity. Africa is the last frontier. Get your head in the game and reclaim your legacy. The writing is on the wall. Babylon is falling. Give up the stress, grind, and violence inflicted on our people on this continent and prepare for a journey of restoration and joy by connecting with the land of your ancestors. Check out our new course and kick off your adventure at diversifiedgame.com.